entering the veil. Entering the veil. It's the bread of adversity. We made the whole. What do you do when you realize the world's so cold? There's a path called righteousness, but it's littered with snares. Approach with caution, a weak feel. It's God's hands to break. Falling away, got us going astray. We in the valley of decision. Help us find our way. My people destroyed for lack of knowledge. How can that be? Mama spent 30 grand on college. The inner man in us seeks for greatness, but truth is like a gem hidden in the field. It's evasive. Who will prevail to open up the book? Who will excel into the veil and take a look? To those that have an ear, let them hear. Blindness and part is happening to us, but clear vision is near, man. We are entering the veil. Take hold, we are entering the veil.
Thank you for joining us, and welcome to Entering the Veil. The veil represents the separation between the holy and the most holy. Although the veil was torn in two, a separation still exists to this day due to our falling away from the sound doctrine originally delivered unto us via the Holy Bible. What this means is there is now a spiritual veil over the eyes and ears of the general public, causing a separation where none should exist. We, the Advanced Information Team, are committed to helping guide as many people as possible along the spiritual path of entering the veil.
Hello. On behalf of the Advanced Information Team, I would like to thank you for tuning in to this evening's program, Proven in Battle. During these tough economic times, an increasing number of people have found themselves in between a rock and a hard place. Though these situations are extremely unpleasant, they oftentimes force us to reach deep down inside ourselves to find what it takes to move on. We oftentimes have no idea that these things are inside of us. But when we persevere, there is a bitter sweetness and sizable amount of glory given to the Most High God. Most of us ask the same question when we are presented with a life-altering problem. Why me? We all have a level of selfishness in this area. We want to receive all the blessings, but none of the backstabbings, and all of the triumphs, but none of the trials. But we cannot have one without the other. I like to call this way of thinking the salvation drive-through, where we desire to supersize the salvation, but hold all persecution. A wise old man once told me that salvation without sacrifice is not known in Scripture. To make it plain, to be acceptable for the Master's use, we must be proven in battle. To explain this, we will start off in 1 Samuel chapter 17 and read an account about the great King David before he was king and before anyone considered him to be great. 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 12. Now David was the son of that Ephrathite of Bethlehem, Judah, whose name was Jesse, and he had 8 sons. And the man went among men for an old man in the days of Saul. And the 3 eldest sons of Jesse went and followed Saul to the battle. And the names of his 3 sons that went to the battle were Eliab, the firstborn, and next unto him Abinadab, and the third Shammah. And David was the youngest, and the 3 eldest followed Saul. But David went and returned from Saul to feed his father's sheep at Bethlehem. Please take notice that David was the youngest of the brothers, which means he was the lowest esteemed. Also, take notice that he returned to feed his father's sheep at Bethlehem. This is a foreshadowing of Christ, who is called the Son of David, and also fed his father's sheep. 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 16. And the Philistine drew near morning and evening, and presented himself 40 days. And Jesse said unto David his son, Take now for your brethren an ephah of this parched corn and these 10 loaves, and run to the camp to your brethren, and carry these 10 cheeses unto the captain of their 1,000, and look how your brethren fare, and take their pledge. Now Saul and they and all the men of Israel were in the valley of Elah, fighting with the Philistines. And David rose up early in the morning, and left the sheep with the keeper, and took and went as Jesse had commanded him. And he came to the trench as the host was going forth to the fight, and shouted for the battle. For Israel and the Philistines had put the battle in array, army against army. And David left his carriage in the hand of the keeper of the carriage, and ran into the army, and came and saluted his brethren. And as he talked with them, behold, there came up the champion, the Philistine of Gath, Goliath by name, out of the armies of the Philistines, and spake according to the same words, and David heard them. And all the men of Israel, when they saw the man, fled from him, and were sore afraid. And the men of Israel said, Have you seen this man that is come up? Surely to defy Israel is he come up. And it shall be, that the man who killeth him, the king will enrich him with great riches, and will give him his daughter, and make his father's house free in Israel. And David spoke to the men that stood by him, saying, What shall be done to the man that killeth this Philistine, and taketh away the reproach from Israel? For who is this uncircumcised Philistine, that he should defy the armies of the living Elohim? And the people answered him after this manner, saying, So shall it be done to the man that kills him. And Eliab, his eldest brother, heard when he spake unto the men. And Eliab's anger was kindled against David. And he said, Why camest thou down hither? And with whom have you left those few sheep in the wilderness? I know your pride and the naughtiness of thine heart, for you are come down that you might see the battle. Now here we notice that David is being chastised by his brother for following his father's orders. This is also a prophetic sign, as Christ would also suffer hard words from his brothers for following his father's orders. 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 32. And David said to Saul, Let no man's heart fail because of him. Your servant will go and fight with this Philistine. And Saul said to David, You are not able to go against this Philistine to fight with him, for you are but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth. And David said unto Saul, Your servant kept his father's sheep, and there came a lion and a bear, and took a lamb out of the flock. And I went after him, and smote him, and delivered it out of his mouth. And when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard, and smote him, and slew him. Your servant slew both the lion and the bear, and this uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them, seeing he hath defied the armies of the living Elohim. David said, Moreover, Yahweh, that delivered me out of the paw of the lion and out of the paw of the bear, he will deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine. And Saul said unto David, Go, and Yahweh be with you. And Saul armed David with his armor, and he put an helmet of brass upon his head. Also he armed him with a coat of mail. And David girded his sword upon his armor, and he essayed to go, for he had not proved it. And David said unto Saul, I cannot go with these, for I have not proved them. And David put them off him.